Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Firstly, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Mohamad Ikram bin Wahab, matrix number CN180041 from the BNM course. Today, I would like to present about my final year project proposal. I come from Department of Mechanical Engineering Technology, Faculty of Engineering Technology. My research title is the suitability of vegan chocolate albocilata bulu madu as a pulp and paper product using alkaline pulping method. My supervisors that guidance along my research is technologist Dr. Norma Zlana binti Ma'in. Firstly, I would like to explain about the introduction of my research project. Alright, firstly is a background of study. Bamboo is a plant that belongs to the grass family and is one of the most extensively used non-wood raw materials in Asia for the production of paper and paperboard. Specific bamboo qualities are particularly valuable for a wide range of uses in the modern food and bio-based sectors such as paper and pulp. Newspaper, notebooks, magazines, office and catalogue paper, tissue, glossy paper and paper paste packaging are all produced by the paper industry. Alternate source has been created to replace the pulp and paper industry main supplies of wood, which is we use the non-wood like bamboo. Next, we move to the problem statement for this research. For number one, growing demand for paper products has forced factories to use resources other than wood as the primary raw material, which is using a bamboo. As we know, before this, many factories or industries use a wood as a main natural material for making the paper. And then for the second problem statement is the soda pulping is a chemical pulping procedure that uses sodium hydroxide. Now, before this, many research and industries already have used the soda pulping in their making the paper marking from the bamboo such as straws and bagazes. And then for problem statement number 3 is different percentage alkaline dosage, 18% and 20%, tested to evaluate pulp and paper properties. Before this, based on the reference and also the previous research, uh, it's mentioned that 80% and 20% and also the 22% is the best uh, percentage alkaline that used in this research. So for this research, we determine 18% and 20% to test the pulp and also the paper properties. Right, next is a research objective. For this research, we have two objectives, which is number one, to produce a pulp from Gigantochloa albocilata bulu madu using alkaline pulping method. And then the number two is to evaluate the structure and mechanical properties of Gigantochloa albocilata bulu madu paper. After that, we move to the research scope of this research. Number one, sodium hydroxide now will be used in the alkaline pulping process. Number two types of percentage alkaline dosage, 18% and 22%, will be used in the pulping process. Number three, yield of the pulp will be measured after pulping process as a pulp properties. Number four, 80 GCM paper will be produced as a paper sample. Number 5 is the mechanical properties such as tensile, burst, and tear will be tested as a paper properties. Number 6, the structural properties such as grammage, thickness, and apparent density will be tested as paper properties. Number 7 is technical association of the pulp and paper industries, standard and international organization. For standardization, MSISO standard will be applied in the preparation of paper sample and testing method. And then last but not least, number 8, analysis of variance will be used as a statistical analysis. Next, I will explain about the literature review, which is we focus to the reference study and conference about my research. From previous study analysis, I can conclude it from reference or papers that have already done about my title and related to my research. Firstly, from the Soraka 2009 and related 2009, non-wood plants such as sugarcane bagasse, linen, cotton, and straws have all been used to make paper in the past. And then alternatives to wood-based raw materials for pulp and paper manufacture include non-wood fibers and agriculture waste. Number three, the fundamental principle in pulping non-wood material is that they can offer high quality pulp, which is especially crucial for specialty paper grades, which is from study from the Carroll 2010. And then, according to the Tweed and Silk 2015, papers made from chemical pulping are superior in strength compared to the mechanical pulp. And then, from the Eng 2010, studies have been made from Eng use 20% active alkali and 0.185 AQ additive in a soda AQ pulping on knife and boil it for 2 hours, which is the result is the undercook. According to Eng 2010 also, the burst and tensile index increased dramatically as the alkali charge rose. The tear index, on the other hand, decreased. This is due to the decreased viscosity of knife pulp as a result of increased alkali charge. From Banfetti 2012, that handled alkali pulping process, sodium hydroxide now for Bambusa vulgaris, the results state the amount of active alkali 10% has a high value in the entire year. The strongest bamboo paper was made using a 22% active alkali soda pulping condition and baked for 120 minutes at 170 Celsius. Last but not least, from Alianza 2002, when the alkali charge in the pulping process is increased, the kappa number drops, indicating that more lignin is removed. Next, we move to the metallurgy, which is from this part also one of the important thing to do and then to find my research to get to solve the objective and also the scope of my project. Okay, firstly, we focus to the flowchart of study, which is the flowchart is one of the figure that is very important to what kind of research. So from this research, my flowchart starting with the preparation of natural fiber, which is at the bamboo chip, we cut range around 1 to 2 cm length, and then we move to the solder pulping process, which is from my research is 18% and 20% active alkali, sodium hydroxide at 170 Celsius for 2 hours cooking time. And then after that, after we do the process solder pulping, we doing pulp test pulp properties, which is focused to the pulp yield, reject yields, and also the freeness. After that, we making a um, we make a paper from the pulp that we have developed before, which is 80 GCM paper from two pulping condition, which is we separate to the two type of sample testing, which is the structural properties, grammage, thickness, apparent density, and then mechanical properties, tear strength, burst strength, tensile strength. And then all the data that we have is we record and then analysis by using the ANOVA. And then end of the research with the flowchart that I have explained. As we can see, the raw material that used in this research is the natural fiber such as the Gigantocular Arbuceta madu chips with active alkali sodium hydroxide. And this is a sample preparation for making a pulp and also the making a paper, which is from the wood chips and then produce a pulp and then lastly produce a paper. Then is the soda pulping process, which is active alkali that used on this research is 18% and 20%. The initial digestive temperature was set at 170 Celsius and wait for about 120 minutes, which means 2 hours. The pulp was entirely cooked with the pulp and paper qualities on this stage, which is 170 Celsius in 120 minutes. Right. Then we move to the research testing, which we have two properties of that we have need to do test, which is pulp and paper properties. Pulp properties, we focus on the pulp yield and reject yield and the pulp freeness, and the pulp properties for structure is the paper grammage, paper thickness, and paper apparent density. And then for paper properties mechanical part, we have three testing that they need to do is which is the paper bursting strength, paper tensile strength, and the paper tearing strength. This for conclusion, I will conclude about my research, which is also include the expected result from my this title research. Okay. It will be expected that pulp success produced from two types of soda pulping, which is 80% and 20%. Uh, this is because increasing use of percentage active alkali, the rigid and screening yield will decrease while mechanical properties increase. Part qualities and mechanical characteristics are the two sorts of tests that will be carried out. The data of each sample will also be analyzed using ANOVA, and then to identify the best dosage of NaO that will be used, the structural and mechanical properties have been applied based on the TAPI and MSISO standard. Soda pulping process can be used to make a sample of Giganchochlea albusulata Pulomado paper product. Next, we move to the Gantt chart of this research. As we can see, this is my Gantt chart for my PSM1 proposal. The Gantt chart is very important in any kind of research because it guides the students to do based on the timeline that they have planning and they need to achieve to complete the whole task. My Gantt chart starting from the week 1 until the week 15, which is this week for uh, PSM1 presentation with a QA session with the panels. The Gantt chart focus to determine PSM1 title, findings the articles, submission chapter 1, chapter 2, resubmission chapter 1 and 2 after the making correction, chapter 3 methodology, submission chapter 1, 2 and 3 based on the improvement and the formatting thesis, and then submit final report to the supervisor and then submit the full document to the panel on 24th June, and then lastly is the PSM1 presentation on the 30th June. That's all from me about my presentation. Thank you for spending your time to hear about my presentation. Thank you.